Yes, so that is one thing I like with my role is this opportunity that I have to meet and speak with all of our customers, all of our partners around the world, across industries, and working with them on shaping their decision intelligence journey. Over the years, I've seen many, many projects, many, many programs scaling, and I have learned also what really worked well. And there are a few simple ideas that I want to share with you this morning. Now, when asked about how do I start, how do I scale, the first question, like a self-driving car, is I will ask you is where do you want to go? What is your goal? What are your priorities? What value do you expect? So let's touch a second on about the value. The We've heard it this morning. We heard a lot about the improvements on the accuracy of the forecasts. We heard about the volumes or the oxygen that it is giving back to people. The thing is that once you digitize decision-making processes, there is virtually no limit to the frequency or the speed at which you can make decisions. There is no limit to the level at which you can make decisions. You can go transactional, you can go SKU, store, day. There is no limit in terms of the coverage. You can look after all your portfolio, all your SKUs, even if you have 400,000, right? And you can also make better decisions, pushing the boundaries of the accuracy, leveraging all these models that we have. So that's really what the unlock is about, is making more decisions, better decisions, and reducing the cost per decisions. Now, depending on the use cases, the skills will push the limits, on one or the other of these drivers. If you have to commit to more accurate dates for every line item orders, you will have ATP, CTP skills that can look across your inventory worldwide and your production plans. If you need a forecast at the SKU store day level every day to work with a retailer, that's the demand sensing. If you want to free people from refreshing the master data, whether it's lead time, safety stock, drop size, MOQ, every week across 1 million of SKU location combinations, right? Definitely you don't want people to do this, and that's what you can achieve and as you digitize. So that's a lot of where the value come from and what the technology unlocks, and how you have to think about which decisions, which use case should I pick to start with. So starting now. Few simple ideas. The one thing you want to get from the first use case is adoption. And not only adoption of the use case, but adoption of decision intelligence. So it means that it has to really help people. It has to deliver value. For that, you need to think about a use case that you can automate. The goal has to be automation, not just recommendation, right? Second is don't start with the black box. People will want to understand how the decisions are made. It's always possible after to have more advanced model. You need to pick also a use case which is actionable, that you can really translate the decision into a buy, a move, a change of price, or make a discount or a promotion like we've seen. Right? And then it has to generate enough volumes of decisions so that it has a visible impact across the organization, also to convince the senior leadership or the executive. How to start also is about working hand in hand with IT to build the decision data model. It is about training your decision process owners or decision architects. By the way, it's very interesting. It's not about technology. It's really about how to think about decision-making processes. It's a very interesting training. It's about engaging with users early. How? Launch early, right? Go live. Even if you get only 20% adoption, you will get the feedback from all these users and the community. You can crowdsource this feedback and then you adapt quickly. Because nobody owns the truth for an entire large organization. So don't try to spend too much time in design workshops trying to figure it out, right? And measure value. So that's really the things we've learned in terms of, in these past few years, in finding the right balance between the complexity and the ease of adoption to start with and actually secure first successes like we've seen at Dell and with others. There is one use case I like and what we've seen a lot like recently is around business waste, whether it's excess inventory or obsolete or supply chain losses. The reason why it's because first, people are stretched between like managing inventory to fulfill like customers' orders and then having time to look after inventory in distress or preventing actually to build excess inventory. This also represents cross-cutting decisions. That's what Arjun mentioned. So it takes time to people to reach out to production, to reach out to procurement, to reach out to sales, to actually say, I want to discount, I want to promote. And we can really relieve them from that by having like this decision cross-cutting the organization. What I like also with this use case is the stake is significant. When you look at how much you are provisioning in your books for business waste, how much you are writing off, there are like millions or dozens of millions, and we heard also hundreds, that are just waiting to be seized, right? And it's also supporting like sustainability objectives that all of your organizations have. So it's not the only one, but it's a great place to start. By the way, with what we've just seen with Aera chat and the agentic AI and the control room, there is another way also we can imagine starting is we just populate the decision data model, we open the Aera chat to people, we add and we enable some actions, right? You can buy, you can move. And then we just look at what people are doing. We look at what decision they are making, the threads, what are the steps in the process and the action they take. This becomes an entire decision-making process, and you can look at it across all the community of users. That can be also a way to source what decision will be interesting to digitize eventually, right? So moving now to how do we scale? Not very complicated. So first, you need a roadmap, and the roadmap is more than just a set of disjointed like skills. A roadmap has a direction. There is a vision behind it, right? And this vision is then organized in work streams. You need a center of excellence to build the capacity to deliver on this roadmap, to build the experience, and also to include a decision intelligence operations. You have also to think about the run. Every day, every hour, the data has to come in. The decision has to be made, and the work does not stop. We have customers that told us, we move to decision automation, there is no plan B. We cannot go back to where we were before. It has to work every day, right? You need the same like stability than you have with your ERPs, because that's where the work is happening, right? And then you need a governance to really define this roadmap, to actually define what is the next use case, to measure the execution and how it's delivered, and to measure the performance of decisions, and then learn how to improve. So one example of a roadmap here, so this is 6 work streams looking after demand management, revenue management, sustainability, supply risk mitigation, service risk mitigation. What is important is each of these work streams are focused on one goal, right? Reducing service risk, for example. All decision types that are part of this roadmap will be cross-cutting the organization. People have to be empowered to digitize decision that goes from procurement down to sales, finance, and supply chain. Right? You can decide how fast you want to go. You can say we're going to do 2 work streams in parallel or 6, depending on how you want to scale. We have a customer who decided after they've seen the benefits of the first pilot to say, well, actually, we are not going to wait until the end of 2026 to get there. We're going to actually pull forward and end to 2025. That means that we need now a bigger team, and that's perfect. And last is we built templates to help you build these roadmaps. We built also skill development lifecycle to actually enable you to have the best practices on how to go about all these use cases together. And we have only one objective in mind, which is what you are telling us is you want to move faster and scale faster, you want to be agile, and you want Aera to be always on. So that's really what I wanted to share this morning, so thank you.